What's up?
What is up is the question.
Crazy bitches.
Yeah. This is Warm Gun.
It's the underwater level.
That's right.
Or episode.
Both. And we have some topics for you this week that are all water related.
Yep. Is the MH370 underwater? I don't know. You'll find out soon.
Also, in India, they're wanting to close down Coca-Cola plant because they're using too much water.
Shouldn't they? Political? I don't know. We'll find out.
Yep. There is a video clip for a music video which has been taken down off YouTube because it depicts a dead fish.
Was it right? Was it wrong? Stay tuned and we'll tell you. Yeah.
How long do you reckon you can tread water before you can physically drown?
I don't know, Kevin, and my answer is later on in the episode, which you can stay tuned to see.
Underwater levels in video games, we discuss those because they need to be discussed.
Yep, our opinion on them, well, remains to be seen. Keep watching and you'll find the answer to that question right
This week, I couldn't review a movie, but luckily you have.
Yep, what movie was it? Well, it was To Be Disclosed.
It's actually in the description, so read that.
Yeah, okay.
There's also a neat bottled water versus tap water debate, which we have experiments and hypotheses which we will test for you because that's what we do.
Yeah. Scientific. Keep watching for that.
Yep.
It's toward the end.
It is. And there's also an Aquaman movie, which we're really excited about.
Yeah.
We don't really talk about much of it, but yeah, it's later on.
Okay.
And Dumb and Dusted, which we know you love, so you'll want to wait around. Oh, hang on. I just got a phone call. Can you just finish up? Hello?
Welcome to Fiog.
Yeah.
Hope you enjoy it.
Hello there.
Man, these shows all suck.
Yeah, I don't disagree.
We could do better than this. Hey,
Yeah.
let's do it. Then if we yeah. Alright. Okay. Oh snap! So I'll call you back. We'll start. Yeah, we're doing the show. Alright. Sorry.
Hey, so
bad.
I'm Matt Orchard.
I'm Kevin Dreberg.
And this is Fiog.
Episode number 17.
Yeah, that stands for Funniness is a Warm Gun, by the way.
What would that, in reverse, what would that be? Gun. A is...
Yeah, is...
Funniness, A, warm.
Or, like, if you actually were doing it actually backward, it would be... No. How do you say R backwards? Okay, that's not an interesting topic.
But this is what you can expect if you watch for another hour. Plenty of insights into into the logic and the mind.
Many other. Hey, you know how I've talked about, like, I've told you there's like a buzzing that goes under us.
Yeah.
And it stopped for a few episodes, and it unfortunately came back in the last one I watched. It's not possible it's the computer humming under your microphone, is it?
It very much could be because I can hear the hum from here.
Yeah.
Something we need to look into.
Yeah. Okay. So sorry to everybody about the kind of hum under the show.
Yeah.
Which we've never really been able to figure out until potentially now.
Mm.
And shout out to Nick Mayer who might be tuning into this.
What's up, Nick?
Or he's actually probably watching last week's episode now if he fulfills his promise of watching it, which.
So maybe next week he'll watch this episode.
Yeah, possibly.
So hello from the past.
Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.
And to anybody else out there who might be tuning in, unlikely.
Just a kind of, not a hello, just a hi.
Yeah.
Until we get better acquainted.
Yeah.
But thanks for tuning in.
Cool.
Right at the top of the show, we got to give the people what they want, and it is the MH370 update.
Ongoing coverage. So, back in February or March-ish, something like that.
Somewhere
Good
around there.
integrity, journalism going on here.
We know our facts.
A plane went missing, MH370. We vowed to keep you updated every week on new developments.
And being men of our word, we have.
Yeah, we're coming back to you. So, latest on Malaysia flights, MH370. Currently, at this point,
As of the 23rd of June.
They still haven't found it.
Okay.
But I assume they continue to search.
I can only assume. I haven't heard any reports or anything.
They wouldn't give up.
Hopefully not.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah.
Still haven't found it.
So, that's that, and we'll keep you updated next week and let you know any other further developments in that vein. Now, I want to give a quick preview to the rest of the show, or just because we've pre-planned something this week. It's going to be a little bit different.
Yeah.
Exciting. We're going to do a scientific. I'm not sure how scientific it is, but as two non-scientists, we've really done our best to make it as scientific as possible.
Yep.
So in front of us, you can't see them, but I'll bring up one in the middle. I'll bring up number 4 here.
And number 6.
There we go. We've got 6 glasses total, 3 of which have you written down which? Yep. Okay.
Totally prepared.
Yep. 3 have bottled water and 3 have tap water in them. Now, last week we kind of briefly mentioned I had a sip of this
delicious beverage.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sydney tap water is, in relation to the rest of the world, is quite good, but it doesn't taste very nice.
Okay. And I'm of the opinion. Well, I was of the opinion. Now I'm kind of like, first of all, health benefits and stuff. I trust the government. I don't think any of the putting in the water is actually really significantly bad for you. And taste-wise, I think it's probably kind of negligible. I think a lot of it's kind of marketing BS. But like, I had a glass of this, had a sip of this last week, and I thought, oh, it's actually pretty good water. But then again, maybe just because I know it's bottled water or whatever, maybe because it was in the fridge.
Yep.
I'm thinking, well, maybe I'm fogged there. So I'll be doing the taste test because I've got really no bias. I'm not invested either way in believing whether tap water versus bottled water is better or worse. So I'll be the taster. Kevin knows which one is which. I'm going to drink these 6 glasses and try and get which are tap and which are bottled. Again, I'm not a statistician, but I think if I get 5 or more correct, that's a pretty good indicator that it's legit.
Okay. And I'm sure the distinction is that you will get 6 out of 6. Like it's that night and day.
Cool. All right.
So there's 3 tap waters, there's 2 bottled waters, and there's a straight tequila. There's not really. But this introduces the backdrop and the kind people of the Lost City of Atlantis have invited us to their stomping grounds.
Thanks, guys.
We're in the Lost City of Atlantis, which we happened to stumble across.
Yeah. We've got a few sharks around here, but it's not friendly sharks.
Yeah, they're all
friendly great whites.
So,
I saw something about sharks recently. So we've decided to
tailor this episode.
Try and make the whole episode underwater. Everything
H2O.
Everything water related this episode. Except for the MH370, which is...
It is, because
it could very well be in the ocean.
Exactly. That's where they're... If they're looking, chances are it might be in the water.
But we don't want to make any presumptions. No. It could be somewhere else.
Maybe during this hour we might find it in the Lost City of Atlantis.
Yeah.
Just remnants of.
Because the city of Atlantis has been lost for ages and we found it.
We found it easy.
So what's a fucking plane?
Right?
Nothing.
Come on, just find it. We've done our bit to find the Lost City down here. One plane, that's all we ask, and then we can cut out this recurring segment.
Yeah. So sharks are pretty cool.
I like them.
I saw a story this week, or maybe it was over a week ago, but they found this big shark. What's big for a shark? What, like 12 feet?
That's pretty big.
Something like that. When he was big for a shark, it was that size. Okay,
yeah.
They're a large, great white shark.
Right.
And so they tagged it so they could monitor its movements for like scientific purposes, as scientists do.
Like we're doing.
Yeah. And then something ate it.
And now they're tracking something else.
Yeah, well, like, gets in this. No, I think that because sharks can't digest. So I think they threw it up or shat it out eventually, so it washed up and they found it.
So something ate the shark.
Yeah.
What eats a shark?
Exactly. That's what's the mystery about it.
Oh, no.
I was thinking maybe a killer whale because they've been known to kill sharks. They've got a pretty big diet, but the leading theory is a bigger shark. And it was a massive shark, but they're like, well, sharks last. I think they live over 100 years, so some of them can get
really
gigantic. Yeah. I mean, every now and again they just find a freak in nature. So some freak of nature shark probably ate it. Is their best theory on that. Hey, transitioning from that, have you ever heard of a megalodon?
It's a big shark.
Yeah. Like it's a prehistoric one, so
they're not around anymore.
Not around anymore. Man, if they were, you'd know about it. They'd be fucking eating tankers. It was essentially a great white shark, and it was a little bit smaller than a blue whale.
Wow.
Now, to really put that in perspective, do you know the blue whale is the largest animal to have ever existed?
Really? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, there's no, like,
Yeah.
in Jurassic period, there's nothing that's been as big on land or in an ocean as
Well-
the blue whale. Although, I guess it's kind of redundant because things don't get as big on land. But,
Like, you think about dinosaurs, some of them were pretty big, but
Some of them
not
are
even
pretty big,
not even a speck in the eye of a blue whale.
oh, no, I wouldn't go that far, maybe, but, like, blue whales are a lot larger.
For the sake of distance, actually.
Yeah.
I learned something
Great
about
point.
sharks, which I'd like to share. You know, they have like many rows of teeth.
Yeah.
So if they lose one of the teeth, one of the tooths,
Mhm.
then the one from behind will move forward.
Yeah.
Like a little conveyor belt.
Yeah.
Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
So they don't
right.
grow a new tooth. They like grow it at the back and then they rotate
Bring them
forward.
out, right.
That's pretty cool.
You know the other thing about the Megalodon freaky thing? Because like, that goes to show that it's so well built to kill and like, eat everything. How the fuck did the Megalodon die out?
Yeah.
I guess it could have been climate.
Some kind of virus or
Yeah, maybe, yeah, something like that. I don't know. But still, it's like,
If any remaining ones are watching, let us know.
oh, you know another shark-related thing I just want to bring up? You know, they say that, like, when a shark attacks a human being, it's because they think it's a seal or something like that.
Right.
Or whatever, some other sea creature. It doesn't like eating people. And,
Really?
Yeah, like, it's kind of like the argument. that
Too
it's
chewy,
Not
or-
on their diet, yeah, like, you know. But I think that's wrong. I
They get
think,
like a watch stuck in the tooth.
yeah. I think that's wrong, though. I think the scientists are just covering for them and they're actually sharks just can't.
I think the same thing. They're
Yeah.
just saying that's a big one. Don't get
Yeah,
worried.
just evil creatures out to
Yeah, well,
get
I know.
us.
Yeah.
Look how scary they look. I mean, except for this guy over
Yeah,
here and his
he's
friend,
alright.
like, they're alright, but
Yeah.
in general, I think sharks just nasty pieces of work.
I don't think they have any sense of, oh, I'm not going to eat this guy. Just
Mm.
food, get it.
So I'm for killing them. But, and just calling them. But, you know what does annoy me though? When you see a guy with, like, a necklace that's got a shark tooth on it, that's not cool unless you killed the shark
Yeah,
yourself.
exactly.
Okay? If you went to a store and you bought a shark tooth.
Same thing with people who wear like the Jesus cross. No, sorry, that was bad taste. No, I agree. Something that I learned about dolphins is that they're more playful with injured people. So like if you're at full health, the dolphin's just like, hey, this guy. But if you're like almost dead, they like come up to you and
Trying to comfort you.
yeah, the thing that they thought it was that if another fish or another dolphin or whatever was injured, they would push it towards like the school or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Or if you, and then so they're saying that if you're drowning, they'll push you back onto the shore and keep you alive. So
There's been stories of
Very
them
strange.
saving people from sharks, like circling them to keep the sharks from coming in. And, yeah, they're interesting animals, very interesting dolphins. And I mean, killer whales, orcas, just like those as well, incredibly smart. I think they're about equally intelligent,
yeah, right.
roughly.
Thing is, it's so different. Like it's a different intelligence than people have. Like we can work out sciencey stuff like this.
Yeah, they could be smarter than us.
Yeah, just in different ways.
Sciencey stuff like this.
You know,
I think we're
drinking
giving us a
water.
little bit too much credit, yeah.
Short of a lab coat, we're scientists.
We have actually been trying, as I said, we're not simply scientific, we've been doing our best to keep this scientifically valid. We even did temperature control, so before Kevin went to work, he got bottled water and tap water and put them both in the fridge, and we took them out, so they won't be too cold to not taste, but they'll both be approximately the same temperature.
Yep.
We're doing our best to really keep this objective.
We have 6 identical glasses,
Mhm.
so there's no like, oh, this one's thicker, it tastes nicer. This is how
Well, they're different
scientific we've
colours,
got.
but
The labels that we have are not even 1 to 6; they're actually in Roman numerals. So we're getting all sciencey up on this.
I'm not very good with my Roman numerals, so that kind of messes me up, but oh well.
And scientists don't use Roman numerals, so
Why is IV 4 and VI 6?
well, the V is the 5. So then you have IIV, it's like 2 before 5, and then you have VII, it's 2 after 5.
Well, see, I understand VI being 6 because 5 is so V is 5 and 1 is an extra 1, so that's 6.
Yeah, so then
But how come the 1 before the 5? So
well, it's not a 1,
dumps.
it's an I. So that if there's 1 I before V, it's what is 1 before V, which is 4. If there's 2 I's before it, it's what's 2 before.
But what about IIV? Wouldn't that be 3, which we already have this for?
If you were to write IIV, it would be. But the correct way to write it is III.
Right.
But if you write IIV, you can still guess that it's 3.
Is I cross anything? So cross through the two eyes?
So that would be the same as VII. Because, no, not. So if you got II, that's in tallies. This is a.
Yeah, that's. Well, no, tallies though. You need to have 4 and then a cross
And then
to
a
make
cross
it
to make
5.
5. I'm a fan of tallies.
They
I'll
look
put it out there.
they look cool on prison walls.
Yeah.
Anyway, Roman
It's
numerals are
easy to
boring.
read as well because you just see like 3 groups, then you know done. It's 15. I think tallies are easier than the 0 to 9 that we use.
But once you know 0 to 9, you can do every other
This is
single
true.
number.
This is true. Numbers, especially when you use like, I don't want to get too much into this, but different bases and stuff, and you just see the way they tick over and then affect each different one. Even like you said, 0 to 9, that's all you need. It just continues in the same loop.
Yeah.
Make infinite numbers. It's a good thing. There's really no segue that we can use to the first story.
What is the first story?
First story that I saw that is water related is in India. There's a Coca-Cola plant, like a factory, that's been ordered to close down because they're using too much water resources. So people are dehydrating and they can't get their daily water to water their families.
Right, yeah, they can't bathe.
Because Coca-Cola is using it to make their soft drink and ship it out. So they've ordered this plant to close.
Okay.
Huge.
What do you think? Do you think they should have done that, or should
It's the right thing to do, but the ramifications from that is this is like a multi-million-dollar cash cow. So people will die and get malnutrition, but
And
don't
I
know.
mean, in Coca-Cola's defense, like their product is pretty delicious. I started drinking Coca-Cola again because I really like. I went off the soft drinks for a while. I went off them, but like for health reasons to keep them under my belly, you know.
Yep.
And I guess I've been more a bit stack about that recently, so Coke crept back in there. But you reckon one glass of Coke a day is alright?
I saw this thing. This is crazy. You can probably do it if you want. If you're in the science mode.
Are you gonna say it helps you lose weight?
No.
No, okay, right.
The opposite. If you get a saucepan and you put Coke in it and you boil it on the hot plate,
Yeah.
it just like comes up with this goo of sugar.
It doesn't surprise me though. There's like
crazy. It's not even what you think. It's like it looks like tar.
there's like many teaspoons of like sugar in a bottle of Coke. I mean, it's very sweet.
Yeah,
A lot of sugar.
you'd be surprised. I could get a 600 or 500
I'm not sure. I
milliliter.
would be surprised. Like it would take a lot to surprise me about what's in Coke. Like it's pretty damn sweet.
Yep.
Beverage.
Sweet in a non-sweet way.
You know what's nice though is to sometimes this can be Matt's hot tip for the week. If you drink Coca-Cola, I think Coca-Cola is probably the best soda, but it's nice every now and again switch up. Get a lift. Lift is great.
Oh, I enjoy it.
You know what? For me, those two are fine. The Sprite. Mix it up with the Sprite sometimes too. Sprite's good. All owned by Coke.
Yeah.
Pepsi owns not much.
Mountain Dew.
They're Mountain Dew.
Mountain Dew's much.
Mountain Dew, like you can have a can of it, and then you're good for 6 months. You enjoy that can, but you're like, okay,
Yep.
that's quite enough of that.
You know, I think the like the Coke Zero and the Sprite Zero and stuff like that. I think in 10, 15 years or whatever, that'll just be the norm. There'll be no such thing as like the sugar.
But they're worse for you. Like
Debatable.
health-wise, they're not as fattening, but like the stuff they put in that to make that taste nice.
It's a different kind. Yeah.
Yeah, at least sugar is like a natural product. It's a natural product that's very not good for your body, but
Yeah,
like,
this is true.
they like put rocket fuel in those things. Like, yeah, I reckon if you're gonna drink soda, like either drink Coca-Cola or like drink full soda with actual sugar, or do orange juice or
Orange juice is worse. Fruit.
Okay.
The sugar in fruit juices is so much worse
Fructose.
because you drink a glass of orange juice. It's like having like 7 oranges. You're not going to sit down and have 7 oranges.
right.
That shit's even worse. For
Okay, well if you're not gonna drink
Water.
full Coke, just go to water. Go to water.
done.
Done. Anything else to say about the factory?
I'll be interested to see what happens with it. Just imagine if they, like, it was ordered to close down, but they can still like appeal and stuff.
Mhm.
But if it does close down, then you've got this big factory, multi-million-dollar factory in the middle of India. What are they going to do with it? Like, there's no other use for it.
They can squat there.
Yeah.
Give like kind of housing over the roof over the head of people who can't afford houses. What do you think of squatting as a movement?
Do it. I'm all for it.
I was thinking like if you if you need to move or whatever, you get evicted. If I ever get evicted, I might just like find a bunch of anarchists who are like squatting and just join them for a while. Just be like, I'm not an anarchist. I'm not really making a political statement, but
Just, yeah.
like I said, I'll still go to work and everything and work for a big corporation and make money. But I won't spend anything on rent for like a month or so.
And don't tell them about
Just if just be like, oh, sweet.
I'm just out to
And-
cause ruckus, and
Yeah,
you step out, you put your suit on.
yeah. That's what I'll do.
I'm all for squatting.
I don't know if I really have a strong opinion either way.
I don't either.
Did you make that T-shirt for me, by the way, or did you attempt it?
No.
Didn't attempt.
No, Matt has a T-shirt that's coming out soon.
If you can't, I'll just get a company to do it. But you don't need to pay that much, do you?
No,
just like,
I'll
like
tell you
$10
these
or
people, they're not a sponsor, but I'll shout them out. Vistaprint.
okay.
Yeah.
How much to get like a sponsor tee?
Like $8 or something. Something crazy.
$8
Yeah, like nothing.
for a T-shirt. and
Yeah.
everything? Yeah.
Postage.
Oh, though you don't have to go in.
No. Fuck going in. Brick and mortar stuff. It doesn't. Everything's internet.
Right. Good. Okay. Yeah. So keep an eye out for my T-shirt. When I get it, I'll
Save,
order it.
save your pennies, because we'll make them available. It's one for the ladies, really, isn't it?
What's the lady?
Your design of the shirt.
Yeah. It's basically wait.
Yeah, anticipate. When it's ready, you'll know about it. You'll see people rocking this shirt.
Yeah.
You'll be like, I remember back when they first started. They're on episode 17.
I knew about that shirt before it existed. Yeah. Okay.
All the previews of shirt designs were on this show. And moving on.
Moving on.
This is another one of my stories that I saw, which I'd like to
I think they're
share.
all your stories this week. Because I didn't have any underwater. I didn't have any underwater stuff coming in.
You have a couple, and you have an interesting movie review that you're
We have
taking
Matt's
over.
movie review.
Yeah.
We're switching it up.
Yeah. Just when you think you know what format we're up, we go this way.
Yeah.
But second thing, is a band from the Central Coast of Australia.
Mhm.
Shout out, because that's where I was raised. They had a video on YouTube which depicted a dead fish, and YouTube took this video down saying it was animal cruelty.
Dun, dun, dun.
Let me tell you, because I was able to watch the video because it's
The fish
still
is already
available.
dead, though, right?
This is exactly right. The video was available on Vimeo. It's still available on Vimeo. They're called Little Earthquake. Shout out to them if you want to check it out. Go to Vimeo, not YouTube, because they took it down. But the gist of it is, at the start, this dude looks at his dead pet fish and he goes, "Oh, he's dead." So then he goes wilds out, has a night out, comes back and gives the fish, who's still dead, vodka.
Right.
That's the basic gist of it. And they're like,
Does the
animal
fish
cruelty.
come to life again?
No.
The vodka?
No, so it's a dead fish. I think the idea of the story is that he hallucinates and his friend becomes the fish,
Right.
or the fish comes alive. But it's like a human with fish face paint on, right? And in the statement that they came out with, they were saying it was a dead fish already. We went to a pet shop and bought the dead fish, so we didn't treat it. We didn't kill the fish for
Yeah,
for
sure.
the video, and we treated it with respect. So what's the problem?
I guess, I mean, I think that sounds silly, but to play devil's advocate, if it was a dead cat
Good point.
or a dead dog, probably even worse in my people's opinions,
But on that
or a
point,
dead dolphin.
yeah, that shit don't fly.
Mm.
I'll be on YouTube side for that. But on that point, the same. This is the group's second film clip. The first film clip had zombies in it, so it's like dead people. And they're like, "Well, what's the difference?" They
Or
didn't pull that.
undead people.
Ah,
Mm.
there you go.
See?
There's
Political.
It's funny though. Have you heard about the This is not water related, so I'll keep it short. But have you heard the YouTuber introducing the indie music regulations? So indie music videos on YouTube will be taken down unless you're signed to a major or an indie label who's signed the agreement to let them the music on there.
What? Why?
Because YouTube want numbers and they want to cut. They want everything to be pushed through the books.
But, like, I don't understand. So what if, like, we start a band together and we just start putting up Matt and Kev's music, and it's under our label,
Matt and Kev's Records.
Matt and Kev's Records. Is that okay?
Well, apparently not.
No.
Apparently not.
What if it's just like? What if it's not even really music?
I know. That's,
What if I'm just like, ha ha ha, and like I just like
and
put up.
Justin Bieber's people are like, I want you.
Well, no, I don't get Justin Bieber's people. I mean, if it were like I guess
no, I know
by
exactly
their
what you
rules,
mean.
that if I had the record label, like that would be sweet. What if I don't have the record label, but it's not? It's barely music. Because, like, for instance, this is still okay. YouTube's not saying they're pulling us down anytime soon, right?
Oh, there's talks about it.
Well, okay.
For different reasons.
All right, but like,
No,
Because
I
we're
get
not-
your point. I get your point, but then it's strange. So, an a cappella group, there's no music, but they're singing. So then you have like a ballad, which is music, but they're not singing, they're like speaking on it. So if you have an a cappella ballad, which is just someone talking, so this is an a cappella ballad, right? And this is our film clip.
yeah.
So, YouTube, your move. But anyway, I think it's the time frame. I think it coincides that they just fuck with this little indie pop. It's not indie pop, but it's whatever it is. And they just like toss them out, and then they're like, let's see the reaction before we like stamp down all this music.
Yeah. Okay. Well, YouTube, support the artists.
Interestingly enough, no one's heard about this group until this happened, and now we're mentioning them, and now they got a tour, and every article that's mentioning this has mentioned their tour date. So, good luck with them.
You know a band who's good on YouTube? Pomplamoose. Have you heard of them?
No.
They're great. There's kind of like this girl who's got this very kind of, it's almost monotony, but like in a really nice way kind of voice. It's not really I don't know what kind of word I'm looking for. It's not monotone, but they do a lot of covers. They do mashups too. For instance, they got Daft Punk's "Get Lucky" and Pharrell's "Happy," and they kind of combine them into
Is it
one
called
song.
Get Happy?
I think it's just called "Happy." I don't know.
Get me on the creative.
Or yeah, "Get Happy" would be a good title for it, but I don't think they call it "Get Happy." But they combined them and like made one song out of them.
Yeah. Right.
They're really cool. And the music video is really cool too. They use like a lot of actually kind of green screen effects.
So maybe that's where YouTube's going on this. That would have been regulated if it was on a major. They would have had to go.
'Cause I don't think
past.
they have a label. I think it might just be them.
So that must be what they're trying to stamp out. That people using other people's copyright and their copyright IP and whatever.
Should I Google it? Come from this?
No.
We should just much Google it on the show, don't we? I'm gonna Google it. Fuck it. But Kevin, bridge us to another topic.
Yeah, so this is another one of my sightings because Matt's been too busy to read the news.
Yeah.
So
I wasn't too busy reading news. Just know we were doing an underwater themed episode until when I got here.
well, you were deep diving when you found the lost city of Atlantis.
Mm.
But the third story or the second story or whatever we're up to, is this experienced boating couple were on a boat where they had experience prior.
Mm-hmm.
English. This experienced boating couple were on a boat, and they went overboard.
And they were no longer on a boat.
But they were still experienced and a couple. and,
Yeah.
and their boat started sailing away, so the boat's gone.
Mhm.
They treaded water for 14 hours before they were rescued.
And this was in Florida, right?
Not sure.
I sort of think you should put this in in Florida because
It
that's
wasn't
like,
water. Okay.
well, it's in Florida couple. Maybe it wasn't in Florida, but if it was in Florida, they have gators down there, man.
They're crazy shit, yeah. And
Yeah.
big motherfucking jellyfish.
Yeah, jellyfish stings. Ouch.
So 14 hours during the night, so it's like pitch black.
Being awake for 14 hours is man enough.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let alone treading water.
Treating water for that long, getting jellyfish stinging you.
Yeah.
God.
And it was the water would have been as cold as some kind of cold thing. And they were cramping up and keeping them like someone would have to rest, so the other person would hold them up and shit for 14 hours.
Yeah.
Crazy. And they're both still alive.
How long after an experience like that? How long?
10 minutes, I would have been, I'm out.
No. after that though, how long do you think it would take until you were like just like not grateful to be on land anymore? You're just like, oh yeah, whatever, land. Because when you first get on land, you must be like, oh, like you must be stoked for like at least, what even was the least amount of time that you just fucking stoked to be on land.
I would hope that it'll be for the rest of their lives. They'll be like, man, I shouldn't be alive.
They're just like walking about like, fuck. But this is not the human nature.
Should be.
So that's not the way. I mean, I reckon at least
Until the...
At least 2 hours. 2 hours.
2 hours?
I'm like absolute stoked. Like stoked to be there.
2 hours. And
Before
then
you
you're
start
like,
to think back to like, man, burn my toast. Like,
wow. I was thinking like bare minimum like 6 months or something.
but 6 months of constant.
Yeah.
Really, can you maintain being that happy for that long?
I would think until like the reports and the articles and stuff stops, and then they'll be like, alright, back in the normal shit.
Okay.
Because their faces everywhere, so people are like, hey, surviving mother.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Interesting. 2 hours. You're
Maybe,
like, yeah, it's
no,
gonna start
no,
off.
I'm thinking like total stokedness though, like, yes, like, you can't keep the,
I think-
the mood of yes for that long.
I think after 14 hours you get to land, like, you wouldn't have a mind. Like, you just be...
I'd be grateful for a long run. I'd be grateful probably for life, but I'm just saying, like, stoked. 2 hours. Minimum. Could be longer, but minimum 2 hours.
Okay.
Of stokedness. Stoked goals.
And I've got to say, the articles, I read a few of them and they all mentioned they were experienced boaters, but they didn't have life vests on. Like, isn't that...
Dickhead should have drowned.
Yeah.
I guess they probably remember the life jackets 9 times out of 10 Murphy's Law. They just forgot that one time. And,
So what happens?
Yeah.
So as a PSA, always wear your life jacket. Whether you're
we say
just
always, we mean
always
how many times out of 100?
101.
101. Oh my god, it's unrealistic. Oh, no.
Push for it.
Push for it.
Even if you're just having a bath.
Yeah.
Getting a glass of water, you better
Yeah.
strap up a vest.
By the way, only, what would you say, 15 minutes until,
Yep.
or 25 minutes until
Until the main event.
tasting test.
So as another bridging topic before the excitement really hits, there was something that you wanted to bring to the forefront.
Is this Matt's movie review?
That can be.
Matt's movie review. Underwater edition. Very good effect. Good.
CGI.
So this week, as I said, it was kind of a last minute idea to do the whole thing water related. Kevin hadn't watched an underwater movie. I watched There Will Be Blood last night, but it's not really water related. So I'm gonna do The Beach, which I haven't seen this week, or really in the past year, but I remember it better than you do. So I'm gonna give you a review of
A
The
refresher.
Beach, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Oh, we played it on Titanic.
I haven't seen either. No, I have seen The Beach. I don't remember The Beach. I haven't seen Titanic, so I don't remember that one.
Anyway, after Titanic, Leonardo DiCaprio actually had a bit of a vacation, I think.
Yeah.
There was like a few years, like...
Did he win an Oscar for that movie?
No, it wasn't really an Oscar movie. Oh, it won... Actually, I think I won film and director and shit.
The thing is, Leo's never won an Oscar.
No, he's never won an Oscar.
They've dangled it in front of him. Never got it.
Was he even nominated for Titanic?
He would have had to have been.
Well, it was kind of like a...
That was his breakout role.
He was already famous before that. He was nominated for Eating Gilbert Grape. Was Eating Gilbert Grape? Anyway.
Imagine if that wasn't a movie, but he was actually nominated for eating someone called Gilbert Grape.
Yeah. Well, Eating a
Wasn't that
Person
Robert Depp? Johnny Depp?
Johnny Depp, yeah.
And Leo.
Leo's the mentally challenged kid.
Yeah, but what about in the movie?
Haha. Anyway, after Titanic, he took a bit of a vacay, I think. I think his next big one was like Gangs of New York years and years later. He kind of like slipped under the radar for a bit. But I think very shortly after Titanic, he did do The Beach. I could be wrong in that chronology, but so what? Anyway, basically in The Beach, Leonardo DiCaprio goes somewhere like, I don't know, like near us, I think, kind of like in the kind of Pacific, as sort of a backpacker, and some crazy man's like, ooh, there's a beach out there, it's really good. And he's like, okay, alright. So he kind of takes the map and finds it, and it's basically just a really awesome beach.
Right.
Like, beautiful.
Too good to be true.
Yeah, that's right. And there were these other hippy-dippy guys there, and they were like, oh yes, we have found it too, it's the perfect, utopia, like away from society, we just get coconuts and fend for ourselves and live as a family in this perfect, wonderful place.
Huh.
And basically they just like keep hanging around the beautiful, wonderful place. I think like the only bad thing is they're like Colombian drug lords or something somewhere around, and so they just kind of have to keep their distance. And I think once they need to go and get supplies or whatever, and they kind of need to like cross the Colombian drug lords or something, and it's all quite intense. Something like that. But aside from that, it's all pretty drama free, and they're just like, yeah. But then one day a shark gets him, like bites a guy's like leg off, or like heavily gouges his leg, and they try and look up after him for a bit, but he starts bumming them out because he's just like crying and wailing all the time.
Yep.
And so they just kind of like remove him, and they don't kill him, but they send someone down to kind of like give him food and care for him and everything.
Right.
That's kind of like where they keep him, but they just kind of keep him in some place in the woods like a tent.
Right.
And I think that's kind of the beginning of the end. Things start like falling apart, and like Leo DiCaprio like fucks this chick who's actually with this other guy or the thing. So that leads to some drama, and in the end, I think everything just kind of goes to hell.
Really?
And I guess the point of the movie is that paradise doesn't last forever. Something like that. And sharks are cunts. Except for that guy.
Yeah. Alright, well that was a good review. It makes me not want to watch the movie. See, the thing is...
John Stamos is...
That's...
I'd give it... From memory...
Out of 10, John Stamos's...
6.5.
Really?
Yeah, slightly above average.
You're like... Alright.
Go on, you going to say?
I was going to say, you're like... So basically they get to this beach and nothing happens since the end of the movie. So I'll give it above average.
What happens? There's a shark.
The only thing I remember from
I
don't remember much from the movie, but I thought the gist of the movie was they found a beach and then they found a lot of weed plants.
Well, there was that as well. Like maybe that's what they were getting when the Colombian drug lord. Maybe they were stealing some weed.
I think. Well, that's what I remember.
And maybe they went back and
Was that
sold
even
some of
a
the
movie?
weed so they could get supplies.
Yeah, I thought.
Maybe
that,
I think they went back to the main island to wherever the fuck it was every now and again.
but that's not the main plot of this.
Nah, that's not the point. Is it? The point isn't they sell a plot.
Alright, 6.5 seems fair.
Yeah. 6.5.
Alright, thanks for stepping in with that movie review.
No problems. Leonardo DiCaprio is pretty good at what he does, isn't he?
Inception was a movie.
Inception, I didn't really enjoy that. 4 John Stamos. No, 2. 2 John Stamoses for Inception. You don't have to edit that in after the fact.
You're
You
good.
don't have to. It'd be funny if you did though, if you got time.
No.
You don't have to. He was good in Django Unchained. That was like a recent performance.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think he gets in a lot of good roles and good scripts. Not necessarily his acting, but he has characters which he acts by.
Yeah, I think he's overall a very good actor. He's quite diverse.
Why has he not won an Oscar?
Because there just happen to be better people in the years that he gets submitted.
I
Who won last year? Do you remember? I don't.
don't care, to be honest.
If he was nominated that year, oh wait, he was for Django Unchained.
You know,
Tough
there's
love.
some people, like the industry or the mainstream or whatever, just likes to punk and they're just like, let's just drag this guy along. I think Leo's one of those people.
Al Pacino was like that for ages. He won for Scent of a Woman in like 1989. He'd already been like the Godfather, all this other crazy shit beforehand. He never won an Oscar.
Yeah, no.
He didn't really take Oscar bait roles. They're always like, I've got a gun and everything. So it's like they're not going to really reward that.
But I think that's almost better because that's not him. Usually when someone plays the same role, like they play themselves into the role.
Mhm.
but he's managed to like pigeonhole himself, for lack of a better term, into a role that's him acting that role.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, he's done that so good. Let's use that same skill set and put him in another character. Like that's acting.
You know what? I think I'm going to do another movie review next week because this reminded me to talk about Al Pacino.
Yep.
I saw, you know, Jack and Jill, the Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah. No.
It's
I know
he
Dallas
plays
Drummond.
himself. Well, not himself, but he plays a dude as well as his annoying sister.
With Adam Sandler.
Adam Sandler plays
Alright.
a dude as well
Adam
as the
Sandler.
sister of himself. It's supposed to be like one of the worst recent films,
Right.
recent mainstream studio releases. Like just abysmally bad. Like I know Adam Sandler is kind of known for producing kind of shitty films. Post The Waterboy, I guess was maybe one of the last decent ones.
What a.
Hey, it wasn't even intentional.
Why'd you write it down here? Mention water. Just playing.
Anyway, I saw the trailer for it a while ago. I don't remember why. Maybe I was looking it up to see like how bad it looked when I actually watched the full movie. But anyway, Al Pacino's got a role in that, and there was this kind of moment in the trailer where like I don't know how to say it's the funniest thing ever, but it gave me kind of a chuckle. Is when like I guess like the sister is dating Al Pacino for some reason, and then like she accidentally like his Oscar goes out the window, and she goes, "Oh well, I'm sure you have another one," and he goes, "Funnily enough, I don't."
Well,
Like, which is quite funny. It's like, yeah, you would assume that Al Pacino has won a few, but he's actually only won one. And I was like, that's a funny joke. So I might watch Jack and Jill this week and give you a review next week and let you know if I think it's appallingly bad.
I'd like to watch it.
Maybe we can both review it. Will you commit to watching Jack and Jill this week?
Oh, yeah, definitely. The thing is, I like bad movies.
I don't necessarily like bad movies.
Which will be a interesting segment. Let's do it.
Okay, Jack and Jill next week.
Something to look forward to.
How many don't understand versus will that get?
Only time will tell.
Alright. We have any other bridging topics or are we in rambling mode?
I think we've been 17 episodes of ramblings.
What do you think, speaking of underwater, when you were a kid, do you remember all the video games, all like the Sega games always had an underwater level?
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
And they were always the cuntiest levels.
Yep.
Like the Sonic 1 one especially, you're just like, oh, whenever it came up, you're like, Jesus,
Yep.
this thing again.
Yep.
You start getting timed, you're like, oh, I miss when he's
And
on
it's-
land, there was no time on it.
Yeah, exactly, totally. And when you're on land, you just move, like you press right and it goes right. But when you're in water, you have to like tap to fucking paddle and shit. That ain't
Yeah.
cool.
It's lame.
Yeah. My game when I was growing up was Alex Kidd in Miracle World.
Which one?
Alex Kidd, Miracle World.
Is that the one that you get with the Sega? Like,
with
if you turn it
Master
on
System
without-
2. Yeah.
yeah, you turn it on without a thing in it, isn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah, I know it. Yeah,
That was my game. But under like the end of each level, you get that hamburger.
Mhm.
And what always irked me is underwater, you still get the hamburger. Would it be like fucking Sonic and shit?
yeah. Yeah, good point. Wasn't that insanely hard, or was it just my childhood memory?
Maybe you just weren't good at it. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
But
that
I mean, I
easy.
clocked Sonic. I wasn't like,
See, I never
the
did.
next game,
I could
though.
never do Sonic.
you can never do Sonic.
No.
But you push down and you go, and he goes really fast. Actually, he doesn't do that in number one. Number one sucks. You can't spin
Really?
and go really fast. No, that's stupid.
Really?
Because that's what Sonic's all about. That's Sonic 2, stupid.
No. See, I don't like the luck of just things flying everywhere and you just
It's
like.
not luck. It's totally coordination and like timing.
Nah.
You can't luck out of a level of Sonic. You can't.
No, that's exactly what I mean. That it's impossible to lose. You just keep going and then finally you end up at the end. Like there's no like puzzle solving or whatever. It's
There's
just,
no puzzle solving, but there's bad people who kill you.
yeah, but that's not a bad game. It's not my kind of game. So I can never do it.
I played Sonic 2 on my computer. Maybe my phone. I can't remember my phone, I think. Because, okay, this is like the bane of my childhood, was that we'd always play Sonic 2. Remember, you couldn't save games back then.
Yep.
You could amass lives, so it'd be hard to die. So what we'd do is, me and my friends play Sonic 2 all the time, we always get to the very last level, and like we got like the other levels down to like clockwork. So we'll get to the last level and we'd have like 30 lives. It'll be like, okay, this time. And the last level, they take all your rings away, so you can't have a single hit.
Yeah, right.
And there's two big bosses.
Yeah.
One is like the robot Sonic, who's pretty hard in and of himself. But then there's the Robotnik, like the big Robotnik. And that seemed virtually impossible. Like, it just seemed like luck of the draw whether you hit him in the right place or not. And if not, you just die. And we just like go through our 3 lives. We'd be fucking furious. If you sometimes you get like 3 hits, and you're like, holy shit, we got 3 hits, and you die. And you're like, oh fuck, all the way back to the robot Sonic.
Yeah, right.
Not back to the Robotnik.
Yeah.
Back to the robot Sonic.
Did you win it?
I won it when I did it again because I looked up a YouTube and figured out the pattern.
Yeah, right.
And you also have save point on the computer, which almost doesn't count. But I reckon I could, if I had the system, if I had the actual controllers, which is easier, quite frankly.
Yep.
I think now I would be able to do it pure.
Nice. I think it's a good challenge.
Yeah,
Hey,
I'm not going to buy it.
You can get those old. No, you can get those consoles like
Do they even work?
Gumtree and that.
Do they even
60
work
bucks.
on like new flat screens? Because now it's just like a USB port or whatever. They don't even have like more ports for Sega system, do they?
You get the like just the VGA.
Hmm?
No, the RCAs.
Huh?
Like the plugs. The red, white, and yellow plugs.
Right.
Most of the semi-new TVs have them still.
Okay.
Go on, plug it in.
I'll check it out.
Gumtree.
Right.
Mario never had an underwater level that I can recall. Like the original
Old
Mario.
school Mario, yeah. But
Which it should have.
Mario 64 though, which is almost as classic.
No, fuck that.
It's not as classic.
No.
I don't know.
That's the Mario I couldn't do.
You didn't like Mario 64.
No, I didn't like the 64 console, but I didn't like Mario 64.
Why didn't you like Mario 64? That was the shit back when I was a kid.
Because like it's platform, and then all of a sudden you're on the 64, and you're like, lost me.
That's such a cool game.
And bought this whole other element.
It's
into
like,
it that
so,
didn't
like
need to
Mario's
be.
original Mario's a little too. I'm not quite old enough to remember that clearly. I sort of we rented it once, and I remember playing a little bit of Mario when I was like maybe 5,
Yeah.
maybe 4. But Sonic I was about 6, and my memory kind of starts coming intact then.
But I've got to say that there was no water levels in Mario, but he was a plumber and he's going down pipes.
That's interesting.
That's the perfect game for there to be water.
You fucked up.
Come
Nintendo.
on. Do you know Nintendo started as a playing card company?
What do you think of the Wii, by the way? For or against?
Good for party games, but if you got any dignity, you wouldn't buy it.
Do you think they're going to go back to consoles again? Like, well, I guess it was a console, but like proper games again.
The Wii U now has got decent games, like with the tablet thing.
But it's still based on like movement and shit.
No, so you got it's like a big phone,
Mm.
and you look at the TV, but you got like the map on your phone, and it's got like a control pad on there.
Right.
So I think it works by motion, but you also got a control on it.
Right.
Zelda's supposed to be good on there, the new Zelda coming out, but I can't do Wii. Maybe it's something I need to see the doctor about.
Yeah, I was going to say. I was trying to think of a line there.
Let's move on. We've got we've got one more thing to talk about, and then it's the segment everyone's been waiting for, the water taste testing.
Yeah.
But something that is water related that you brought to the forefront is
Aquaman?
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's been cast. And Khal Drogo is going to play him.
who is from Game of Thrones apparently.
Yeah, that's right.
Is he a main character?
Hold on. If you haven't seen Game of Thrones and you're planning on watching the first season, then when you see this little guy again, unmute your thing, and then you can. So mute it now, and then when you see it
They
again.
can't hear you. They're already muted.
Right. He was in season 1, but he dies in season 1. So he was Khaleesi, who's like the mother of dragons. She's kind of like the underdog girl who ends up actually becoming really quite powerful, leading an army.
Right.
Before she leads an army, she gets sold by her brother to Khal Drogo as a wife. Like, she's kind of the leader of this kind of savage tribe. So they sell her as wife so that he, in return for his army, to go and like take the throne back for this guy.
That old story.
But then they end up killing the brother because he's a cunt, and then like the police actually kind of comes into her power, and then he dies because a witch curses him, and so she burns the
Opens
witch.
up his roster to do Aquaman.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's like, I don't need this role. I'm going to do Aquaman.
Yeah.
Write me off.
Yeah. It was quite a few years ago, so that probably wasn't me. But I get what you're saying. It'd be a weird Aquaman, because I always thought of Aquaman as sort of like a scrawny white guy, or I don't know. What do you mind if I Google again Aquaman?
No, he is like the traditional characters, but I can't see him being like a major character in any movie, right?
Well, I mean,
Like he wouldn't have like the Aquaman movie. What's he actually being cast into?
he is actually really largely built. If you look at that, that's even for like superheroes, it's quite largely built. Sorry, what was the question?
What movie has he been cast into? Is it somebody else's movie that Aquaman's a part of? Or?
No, I think it's just an Aquaman movie.
Really?
I don't think that's too crazy. Like, there are things you can do.
Exactly. It's so crazy that it might work.
Yeah.
I like it.
Wasn't an Entourage? Did you watch Entourage? Vincent Chase was going to be Aquaman, and then like in Entourage, the character Vincent
Right.
Chase plays Aquaman.
Alright, there you go.
Um,
There you go. I'll watch it if it came out.
got all Khal Drogo. Okay.
Alright, it's come to that time.
Now I don't want to have too much kind of wine tasting. You don't want to like the other wine in your mouth be affecting. So I'll just kind of wash out this little whatever.
Okay, so the idea of this is that we have 6 glasses of water.
Yeah.
3 of them are Sydney tap water. 3 of them are from Thank You water, which is a bottled water.
Yeah.
You don't know which is which. I know which correspond to which number.
Yeah.
You're going to drink 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yep.
and tell me. You drink 1, you tell me is it tap water or bottle.
Yeah,
You drink
okay.
2, tap water.
What I'll do is I'll go through once. I'll tell you my initial thing,
Mm-hmm.
no matter what the other ones have been.
Yep.
And then obviously if we're not totally half and half, we need to go back to review and kind of try and retaste.
Okay.
Okay. Right.
So number 1.
Number 1. Okay. Initial impression. I'm going to start with tap.
Okay. Number 1, tap
Tap.
water. Number 1, tap water. Number 2, if you're playing at home, if you want to just write down the results as they come in. Number 2.
I'm going to say tap.
Oh, he's going for tap again.
Mm.
So just to recap, number 1, tap. Number 2, tap. And he's going in for number 3. He's had his first sip.
Why am I getting an aftertaste of these?
Oh, he's brought in an external glass, maybe to clear the palate. The palate has been cleared, and he goes back to glass number 3.
I'm going to say bottled.
He's going for bottled. That's right. He's made a deviance. He's gone from
This is
tap
very good commentary.
to tap,
This is very good
and now
commentary,
he's
though.
changed to bottled.
He's giving
Number 3 is bottled.
giving feedback on his narrating, which is good. It's good
And
narrating.
the narration has been feeded back.
How he's going? Alright, now go on.
So, class number 4 now. For those writing in numerals that are Roman of nature, that is IV. He's looking into the glass.
I swear to God, the Coca-Cola bottles are giving it, because they all have a different aftertaste that doesn't have, which is making it difficult. Oh.
Glass number 4 has been sampled twice. No decision as of yet.
I'm gonna say tap.
He's chosen tap for number 4.
So just technically, I've chosen all taps that they can be. It's just all 3 and 3. So I'm gonna have to probably go back for a revision.
Oh. This is glass number 5. That's 5 of 6. And the second last glass again looking like he might go back for a second sample. He's
Actually,
looked
for
at
now
it.
I'm confident that's bottled.
His confidence is through the roof on that decision. Number 5, he's gone for bottled water.
This is a moment of truth because if this I don't think is bottled, then I'm really going to have to do some head scratching.
Compare that straight from the mouth of Matt Orchard right there. He goes for glass number 3. Sorry, number 6. That's glass number 6. Which is the final glass of this taste test.
That's the cleanest of the lot, so I'm very confident that that's bottled.
His
So-
confidence level once again is through the roof. Glass 6. He's chosen bottled.
Now,
So Matt, running from the top, what have you chosen? Glass number 1,
tap,
number 2,
tap,
number 3,
bottled,
number 4,
tap,
number 5,
bottled,
and number 6.
bottled.
I can tell you, you've gone absolutely 100% correct.
Every single one?
Every single one.
Wow, there you go.
Science wins.
There you go. Okay, so all you bottled naysayers, it was strange how it was getting an aftertaste quality. Even the one I guess is bottled here and here, I kind of both got kind of like an aftertaste.
And just to prove, just in my weird code, there you go.
I should look it up.
Tap, tap, bottle, tap, bottle, bottle.
How do you?
So, tap, tap, bottle, tap, bottle, bottle. So 1, 2, 4 is tap.
Oh, I see.
There you go.
Okay.
Matt gets 6 out of 6, proving that there is a noticeable difference between bottled water and city tap water.
So Penn and Teller, we should like cut this and I'll send it to
Yep.
Pinch letter Penn and Teller and go. So was that scientific enough for you? Like,
Yep.
was that an objective enough test?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. 100%.
Done.
I'm proud of myself.
Yep. And we are all as equally proud of you for taking the challenge, conquering it, and proving without shadow of a doubt.
Good,
Yeah,
good narration,
result.
by the way. I liked your calling of that.
Thank you.
It was good to see.
Thank you.
Okay.
So that puts to rest the age-long debate. How did you feel between the tap and the bottle? Like, aftertaste, did it like change your mood or?
Well, no. I mean, I think any claims that it like changes the way you feel needs to be tested over the course of days.
Okay. So not
I
immediate.
wasn't like tap. Oh, now I feel depressed. Bottle. Oh, now I feel happy.
Okay.
It wasn't like that.
Okay, so that's been disproved.
Okay. Yeah. At least in short-term effect. Okay.
There you go.
Well, anyway. I guess it's time for that segment we all know and love.
We do, and we do. It is.
It's old.
It's stupid.
It's no longer relevant.
It's dumb and dusted. This week,
Okay, so this week,
staying on the water topic.
we're going to be talking about wells, water wells, and why we don't think they're that good.
Don't need them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
They're dumb and dusted.
Yeah, absolutely done and dusted. So, basically, back in the day, if I wanted a nice refreshment,
Yep.
I would have to go down to town well in the city centre,
Yep.
and get
Lower
my
a
old
bucket.
bucket on this rope and pull it all the way back up. God knows what kind of fucking. There's a bunch of other buckets been lowered. That no one knows what those buckets are being.
Yep.
So I could have got diseases from it, but that's the only way we get our water and to haul that all the way back to the house. But at that time, it wouldn't be as cool as it was from when it was underground.
Not only that, but exactly on the point that you made, it's going to be like infested with all kinds of things.
Yeah,
Things just blowing in from the street. Like usually a well's lip is about like a foot or two.
yeah.
That's not enough to stop.
People complain
things
about
blowing in.
fluoride. Back then, we would have been like,
Yeah.
more fluoride, please. As much
Less dead
fluoride as
rats.
you can get down there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, less dead rats. Exactly.
And there's always
Um,
kids that are falling down wells. Well, they have been.
Like Bart Simpson.
Yeah. There you go. If you ever need an example, there you go.
But a good song came out of it at least. It's ended up doing that well. But that doesn't justify that doesn't justify wells being
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
So they're not a good way to get your water.
Like now we have pipes that come up, and then there's like a tap, a faucet on the end. Like so much easier. Or you can just go get bottled water.
Yeah.
There's so many
Doesn't
different
cost
ways. You
that
don't
much.
need a well anymore.
Yeah.
You don't need to line up and use a bucket and like manually move parts to get the water. Now
Yeah.
you just
Totally just an impractical delegation of time.
absolutely dumb and dusted. Don't
Dumb
need
and
it
dusted.
anymore.
Yeah.
I'm glad there's no wells around anymore. Because even if there was one, I wouldn't use it. And I wouldn't recommend to anybody else use it.
Yeah.
Dumb and dusty.
Done and dusted. Okay, well, guys, thanks for tuning in.
We hope you've learned something. Because,
We haven't.
let's face it.
Yeah, well, I mean, I learned that you shouldn't be overly skeptical of bottled water because there's at least a subtle taste difference.
And I've learned that you can be a scientist even without a lab coat. So until next week, we just hope everybody out there takes it easy.
Keep it clean.
The grammar wasn't quite right on that one, was it?
Well, do you want to do it again?
Yeah.
So until next time,
Take it easy.
keep it clean.
And we'll leave that in as well.
Yeah.